These are the Air Max 1 86 OG golf shoes, and I'm sending them back. The recent sneaker retro of the OG Air Max 1s with the big bubble at the heel were a big deal, and I was gutted that I didn't actually manage to pick up a pair of those sneakers. So I was really excited when I managed to get my hands on the actual golf versions, which come out a couple of weeks later, because really they look extremely similar to the sneakers. So to be honest, I wasn't really even prepared to wear these that much on the golf course. I was going to rock them in the normal everyday world. They kind of look just like the normal pair. But I'm going to cut to the chase in this video. They're not that comfortable, at least not for me. I actually got two pairs, one in my regular size 9 and one in a 9.5, and I had to size up to the 9.5. For me, I found that my toes were touching the end and there just wasn't quite enough room in the toe box when I went true to size. But that's not the reason why I'm sending them back, because the 9.5 fit great for me when I did size up that extra half size. The reason why I found them uncomfortable is because of this larger air bubble, which you might think, well, that doesn't quite make sense, because surely a larger air bubble is more comfortable than the smaller air bubble. And that was what I was thinking as well. But the reason why I find these uncomfortable and why I'm sending them back is because this longer air bubble in these OG versions have changed the feeling underfoot of these shoes, and I can definitely feel quite a big step kind of in the middle to back portion of my arch of my foot on the outside of the shoe. When I run my fingers in the shoes, I can really feel quite a significant step there, and I just find it uncomfortable to walk on. Now, they might break in over time, and I don't know whether that's exactly the same feeling that you get in the sneaker version. So if anyone did cop a pair of the sneakers, please leave a comment down below and let me know. But when you're spending £153 on a pair of golf shoes, or sneakers for that matter, for me, they've always got to be comfortable. I'm not gonna sacrifice comfort over the looks. Now, I know my wife has been doing that in high heels for years, but it's just not the same when it comes to sneakers, is it? Of course, if you do want to grab a pair of these for yourself, then I have included any affiliate links down in the description below. And in case you're interested, let's take a quick closer look at these shoes, because there are a couple of features that I simply didn't realise before I bought these shoes. First of all, let's take a quick look at the upper, because you can see here that you have got what I thought was going to be a mesh material, but actually you've got that hot melt kind of waterproof covering on the upper here on the toe box. But this red area that you can see, this is all like a suede material. And again, you've got the similar feeling material on the grey section too. So out on the golf course, that is probably gonna mark up pretty nastily. So you're probably gonna want to spray some kind of protective rejuvenator or something like that on them to try and keep these as fresh looking as possible. The tongue itself doesn't then have that. So on the tongue, you've just got the exposed normal mesh underneath the laces there. So they are gonna let a fair bit of water in if you do step in a puddle or it's really, really raining. At least I think they're gonna let in a fair bit of water. I'm not gonna do my waterproof test on these because I'm sending them back. Of course, the big deal with these shoes is that larger bubble, which was on the original 86 version of the Air Max 1. But because they had issues with that air bubble and the manufacturing, they then made it much smaller, and then that's what led to the traditional size bubble on the Air Max 1. So looking at these shoes, you can definitely wear these on and off the course if that's what you want to do. I don't think anyone's really going to notice that much that these are actually a pair of golf shoes rather than a pair of the sneakers. Of course, that is if the comfort is good enough for you. A few other fine little details on the shoe. You can see here that you've got the Nike Air Max logo on the tongue, and it's a little bit kind of pinky actually, rather than white on that label there. On the heel of the shoe, you've got the Air Max, you've got the Nike Air logo stitched into the back of the shoe, and that looks nice as well. And a unique feature is that on the inside of the shoe, you can probably just see it there, you've got the size printed on the inside of the ankle. That was a feature that they used to do on the Nike shoes, something that you don't see anymore. Taking a quick look at the outsole, you can see here that they have really tried to copy and keep the tradition of the Air Max 1. So you've got here this rubber section at the kind of middle to rear of the shoe. This whole section here isn't really giving you any kind of traction whatsoever. And then what you've got here is these little kind of rubber nodules in this waffle pattern. So it looks pretty similar to the pattern that you get on something like the Air Max 90 golf shoes and on the new Roches as well. They're giving you all right amount of traction, I'd say, from using them in the past. It is quite a firm rubber, so you're definitely going to get a fair bit of use out of them, but it's not the most aggressive spikeless pattern on a pair of golf shoes. So, you know, if you really want to rely on having the best traction out on the course, that's not what these are going to give you. These are going to look great on the course, and they're going to give you enough traction to be able to play golf. You might slip occasionally, you might not. That really depends upon the conditions and the way that you swing. A few other tiny details. You've got the two little notches there on the front, on the outside and the inside of the shoe, you can see. And then also you've got a tiny little bit of detailing. You can probably make that out on the camera, where you've got this little ridge going up on the air bubble, and then you've got it at the back as well, you can see there. The outsole comes out easily enough. It's not glued down. So you've got the kind of suede material on the top. It's not particularly the thickest, and these aren't particularly soft underfoot. They feel fine. You can walk 18 holes in them, that'll be fine, but you know, you're not getting the levels of comfort that you get from a Nike React foam. So if you do get these shoes and you found them perfectly comfortable, that's brilliant. I'm really jealous, because I really wanted to rock these both on and off the course this year, but sadly, I'm sending my pair back to Nike. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. If you are in the market for a pair of Nike golf shoes based on some of their most popular trainers, and unfortunately you can't get your hands on these at the moment, then why not check out my full review of the Nike Air Max 90G, which I've included a link to right here.